Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 6 of this D1 World Championship here in BP. We are now officially at the halfway point of this season, where we are en route to find out who will be the world champion at the end of 12 rounds here on the 2026 cars. And with championship leader Marko not racing, who knows what will happen. We're racing here around the 4.3 miles around the Ardennes forest. There's your active aero zones, 4 of them in total, with your overtake detection before the bus stop chicane. 103 metres of elevation change around the lap. That's the most we'll see all season long. So drivers are going to have a lot of fun going up and down the hills here of the forest. Here's your starting grid then for today's race. It's an all Haas back row with Guy 22 and ZXP 21. DJ Death Dragon lines up 20th alongside Worston. Pingu will be 18th alongside Steps. Ibrahim will be 16th. Kiki got a 5-place grid penalty in qualifying for a collision with Paul Diver, who lines up 13th alongside Nico, his best qualifying start of the season. David Sat is 12th alongside Tilted. P11. Caden and Shaz occupy the 5th row of the grid. It's an all Williams 5th row. Padmore will be behind Lutox in P8. Smusha will be P6 for his home Grand Prix alongside Ruggy. Dr. Law will be 4th alongside Edward, and it is going to be Tig joining on the front row with Tsunami, who took his first pole of the season after spending an entire lap behind the rear wing of Edward during qualifying to get one massive slipstream down the straight and managed to not lose too much time to him in the corners. Now Edward obviously not very happy with that because he didn't want to have a Red Bull up his gearbox for the entire lap and giving him a tow, but that's kind of what you do around Spa, and he didn't really have much of a choice. And I think with that we're going to head down trackside and get this race underway. I hope you guys all enjoy. Anyway, we're heading now to 5 red lights here at Spa Francorchamps, and it's foot to the floor. We're racing here around the Ardennes forest. That's a good start from the poleman Tsunami. Tig trying to go up his outside. They're all making it round turn 1 clean lead. No incidents as of yet. There's a Williams and a Mercedes going off at the back. I believe that is Lutox and Caden at the back. And now they head their way up Eau Rouge and up Radion as I believe that's Edward also going very far off the track. And here comes Tig down the Kemmel Straight, looking to make a move for the lead. Going into the outside, into Lecom. Tsunami just holding on. There's the move here. Smusha trying to get past Dr. Law. He ends up losing a place to Ruggy, who gets a very nice move there. Taking the inside there. Smusha goes a little deep. Going through Malmedy. That's cost him a place to Patmore, but he does get it back under braking. Tsunami's out of battery, it looks like. Tig, look, he's got a little bit left. He's actually having to lift off. He's going to be pushing him round there. As Dr. Law also right there, as is Ruggy as well. They're going to be basically four abreast into the bus stop chicane. Tig takes the lead by the end of the opening lap, but Dr. Law and Smusha getting a little bit close there on the exit of the chicane. As we now head down the run now to Blanchimont and up to the bus stop chicane on board with the Red Bull. It's loaded in and the Bard is leading. Yes, the Bard got pole, Lassie. As Tig goes down the inside into the bus stop chicane. Tig trying it around the outside at the exit. They're 3 wide coming out of the bus stop chicane. Tig gets the lead. Tsunami still in second. He's side by side there with his teammate as Ruggy now goes for the lead of the race. Up the inside he goes off the McLaren driver. Gives him room at the exit. And he gets ahead of the McLaren as Kiki sets the fastest lap of the race. Dr. Law and Patmore are fighting. Here comes Tilted into Eau Rouge on his teammate, who slams the door shut on him as the 2 Red Bulls, Racing Bulls, getting also quite close for comfort as they headed up Radion. As up front, the Red Bulls swap position. Here comes Tig up the inside into the chicane, braking later, and he regains the lead of this race. It's a lot of yo-yoing. Still can't decide who they want to be out in front, as Ruggy's going to go for the move again into the Lecom chicane, and he gets ahead of the McLaren again. Down into Eau Rouge, Dr. Law backs out of it as they climb up the hill now. Now down the Kemmel Straight. Dr. Law probably going to get the slipstream here on Smusha. As we look up front, we can see Ruggy and Tig close again. Not quite. For once, none of these drivers swap positions going down the Kemmel Straight. That is remarkable. So God, it's like Tsunami getting a good run there through Puon, and there goes Smoosha up the inside through the Vista, as I'm calling it. He backs out of it eventually, but Smoosha trying an opportunistic move there. We watched on board rearwards with the Red Bull. Gets a little bit of a poor exit though out of Stavler. Could put him vulnerable to Dr. Law. I believe a little bit of contact maybe. As they're going to go down here, they're nearly 4 wide down the Kemmel Straight. As Tsunami going around the outside of braking of Tig to take the lead of the race again. That is a nice move. There's spinning off. That's Dr. Law at the Lecombe chicane. I can't tell if there was contact, but the Ferrari driver spinning round, fighting for a potential place on the podium. And he goes spinning around down to P10. Smoosha sliding around a little bit through Brussels. That's cost him a little bit of time to Tig, but he's up to P3. Head further back. Pingu looking as we got a forward. We've got a big 5-way car fight here. Paul Diver looking as they're going to go 4 wide down the Kemmel Straight, and there's a big crash there. And Gree is put into the barrier. Paul Diver swiping across someone as he went off the track. And there's a bit of a car park as well through the second part of Lecombe. We just about managed to catch that one. As ZX. No, that's Gree, sorry, with a bigly damaged front wing. I'm sure he'll get a penalty for that, like Paul Diver, because I think he may have caused that by driving off the track in the Kemmel Straight. Smoosha gets his first track limit penalty of the race. Now he's really holding up Edward, actually. I mean, he's not obliged to get out of the way. It just would have been nicer, I'm sure, for guys behind him. And here comes Paul Diver and steps round Blanchimont. Side by side they go. And now Paul Diver alongside Pingu into the braking. Oh, there's more contact with Paul Diver under braking. Ibrahim and Pingu going off as well. I believe that was also caused by Paul Diver trying to go late on the brakes but getting squeezed. He really should have backed out of that one, I think. That's the second contact possibly caused by Paul Diver on the same lap with the same drivers. Drop back to this fight. Here comes Ibrahim on his teammate steps down the Kemmel Straight. The Aston swap positions. And these two showing Paul Diver how you overtake down the Kemmel Straight without causing a multi-car crash. Ruggy on the inside though. And Smoosha, does he get ahead of the Red Bull? Yes, he does. He clears Ruggy. The undercut seems to have worked for Smoosha, but Ruggy will have more battery. Yes, he does it into Eau Rouge there. Ruggy not backing out of that one. But Smoosha is going to try and come back as hard as he can. He's got the warmer tyres, but Ruggy with the more battery power. And he clears Smoosha. As here comes Patmore and Kiki. Kiki getting ahead of the Alpine driver. I mean, if you want someone to crash, mate, ask Paul Diver. He's doing all the crashing in this race as Patmore trying to come back and Kiki into Puon. And he's actually going to go for it into Puon. He goes. And that is Patmore up ahead of Kiki, who swapped places actually through Puon. That is unbelievable to witness. As those two not swapping positions, will come back down to this fight, and there's a crash. Patmore and Steps collide, coming through Stavelo. And that, I think, no, is that tilted? No, that is Lucas. I think Lucas went for a move up the inside. Steps isn't obliged to get out of the way. They wheel hooked and sent them both into the barriers. And Tig, who's on the medium tyres, he's got the better exit on Ruggy. And he's going to get boxed in by his teammate Tig onto the grass there, but Tig gets past two drivers. This is reminiscent of Hakkinen v Schumacher, but Tig round the outside he goes off his teammate and Ruggy. It's the inverse there of Hakkinen v Schumacher. Smoosha is spun round by Tsunami on the exit of Malmedy, and he's into the barriers now. That's going to cost him dearly, and that will put Kiki up into P4 now. So it might have just been a bit of a skill issue there, as there goes Tsunami down into Eau Rouge on Tig. Oh my goodness, that was late from Tsunami committing to that one. Wow, my god, that caught me off guard as Tig comes back into the chicane. Tsunami though, later on the brakes, shoves Tig off the track, who cuts the corner. He's going to have to give that one back, I'm certain. And he does give the place back to Tsunami, but he'll instantly retake it. It's Ruggy super late on the brakes into the Lecombe chicane on Tig. He's trying to take the move to make it a Red Bull 1-2. We can't really see what's happening. You can just see a wheel there off the McLaren. And as we exit the corner, it's going to be Tig getting the lead into La Source. Tsunami tried to come over on him under the brakes, but Tig was already basically ahead there as Ruggie also tried to capitalise. But here comes Tsunami once again down to Eau Rouge. He's cleared the McLaren once more. And Ruggie is super close as well to the back of the McLaren driver, but I don't know if Tsunami's got enough battery to stay ahead of either of them here, because here comes one of them, and Tig has run out of battery. Ruggie's going to try it now around the outside into Lecom, but he also can't get ahead of Tig. Tig just about having enough in his tank to stay ahead. And now Ruggie is within 2.5 tenths of the McLaren driver. He's so close now to the back. He's surely going to make the move work this time into the bus stop, as there he goes now. He's going to brake later, and the McLaren driver, but he's got the inside line as Tig. But Tsunami almost looks like he parks the bus there. There's 3 wide coming out of the corner. Who's going to start the lap first? It's going to be Tig, but they're still side by side into the braking zone. There's 3 wide into La Source. Ruggie is in the lead as Tsunami now second, still side by side with Tig, all the while still losing out time to Dr. Law behind. And it's going to be Ruggie leading them on to lap 21. Tig close behind us. They're now side by side at the exit of Radion. And there goes Tig. Here comes Tsunami. 3 wide down the Kemmel Straight. Once again, who's going to be last on the brakes? Ruggie on the outside. And he retains the lead. And Tig still is in second with Tsunami in P3. And Dr. Law is still right there. He's within 1.1 seconds of getting the overtake. He's going to be within that magic 1 second on the final lap. In fact, he's going to be in with it now. Into the bus stop as we now roar onto the final lap of this race. Tig is within 0.2 of a second. We don't know who is going to come out victorious in this race. It could be a Red Bull, it could be a McLaren, or it could be a Ferrari. Who will know? We will find out in about 7 kilometers time as they head up Radion for the final time and down the Kemmel Straight. Tig will most likely take the lead here, going into the Lecom chicane. Ruggie sending him to the inside. Tsunami maybe trying to follow suit with Tig, and Tig will take the lead into the Lecom chicane. Tsunami maybe trying to go around the outside of his teammate. No, not quite. Maybe down the inside into Brussels. Of course he will. It's the final lap. You give it everything, even if it's against your own teammate. But the 2 Red Bull scrapping may have just given Tig the win, unless Tsunami has got a lot of battery left in his tank to get Tig into the bus stop chicane. Only time will tell. But he gains going through Pouon to get a great shot there of the cars. Through this that for the final time. I'm running out of breath commentating these guys, my god. Round Stavolo now. This is it. Who is going to have the most battery? Will it be Tig? Will it be Tsunami? Or will it be Ruggie or Dr. Law if these 3 come together? Or even 2 of them come together? Tsunami with the slipstream, with the overtake mode. He's already flashing though. Tig isn't. And I think Tig may have just done it. But who's going to be last on the late breakers? Ruggie's sending one down the inside of his teammate. And Tsunami goes too deep, I think, into the chicane. And Tig will be victorious here at Spa. Ruggie will hold on to second. Tsunami will be third. And Dr. Law almost gets another podium on the final lap. Kiki will settle for P5 from P15 on the grid. As there goes Smusher out of the bus stop. Spinning it again. David Sat will finish ahead of Lutox, with Smusher finishing down in P8, 12th. And Ibrahim gets overtaken by Death Dragon at the final chicane, but he outbrakes himself as we see a Haas facing the wrong way. That is a lap down, I believe. That's either ZX or Guy, I can't tell. Pulled over after causing mass terrorism early on in the race will be P15. That Haas is just enjoying life. Pingu will pick up the final points position in 16th. Stebbs hasn't got a nose cone anymore. Not surprised, 17th. As we now welcome Tig, a winner for the first time this season. He took pole last time out in Hungary, and he's finally secured that win for McLaren. Heading into the halfway point of the season, he'll be joined up there by both Red Bulls with Ruggie and Tsunami, who fought him all race long for that win. Sometimes came too close for comfort, Well, that's how D1 goes sometimes. But nonetheless, a great fight from all of them.